The desperation is showing at IDW. Now, they celebrated a fake win the other day when nobody wanted the Star Trek property at the levels that Paramount was trying to sell it. And so Heather Antos and her company got to have a renewal of this property. Now, sales have not been tremendous for Star Trek, and the recent outings have just been a complete train wreck. They've been a bastardization of the show. It's been bad fan fiction. They've set up a ongoing universe series that takes place after the 90s shows, where it's like there's two ships, and each one of them has one character from every TV show, just to like it's such a very drivel, very poorly done. And they've made some other mistakes along the way. But gosh, what we're going to see out of this Star Trek 500 and a new crossover event, yay, just reeks of just absolute desperation. So watch as they circle the drain here. We're going to have a lot of fun today at IDW's expense. My name's John Delarose, everybody, and I am a #1 best-selling comic creator and science fiction writer, and I write way better stuff than is out there today. They know that they can't compete with my work here with The Hidden Emperor. This sci-fi science fiction graphic novel is already at $24,000. We're about to hit that $25K. I'd love for you to get in on this as we build this wonderful universe that is just of classic comics, classic heroism, good storytelling, the opposite of everything IDW has been doing. So check this out in the description below. You'll love this. Heather, I know you watched this video. You should back this too. And get a copy so you can see what good sci-fi writing is. You know, I could come in and maybe do a short story for your Star Trek 500 anthology that's going on. People would like it. People would like to see Star Trek by me, I think. You know my number. Call me. All right. So Star Trek 500 is coming out, and they don't actually have a number 500 of anything. They're using these milestone markers as an attempt to sell things as like a sales gimmick, because they have a bunch of different short collections and mini series, and they're not all tied in. They're not all the same thing. This is just the 500th issue of Star Trek of any sort that IDW has produced. So they did this at 400. They're doing it at 500. Clearly, it helps to get these little anthologies sold. And it's tough to do anthologies because, and I don't know why they keep doing them. I mean, IDW seems to do one of these every year or so. Maybe even less than a year, of short stories, and they try to shoehorn in all these people who are just like the friends of Heather Antos into a book to try to get them publishing credits, see if they can get them onto another series or something like that. I think that's the intention of it, because these shorts just never really work well, and they're always trite. They always are not good quality. It's a weird thing to see. So there's some desperation going on in this one. The last one that they did was the most obnoxious ever, Star Trek Celebrations, which was all just like weird gay pride stuff and trans stuff thrown into one book. It had the worst of the worst on there, including work by Mags Visaggio, one of the activists out there who just goes out there and tries to just bother people about transgenderism all the time. And tries to play victim in the comic industry, much like Heather does. It has a bunch of just random groups like this, and the same thing's happening with Star Trek 500. So you can see it's just a portrait in space of some random players in here. Here's the cover. They got to downplay Kirk a little bit because they don't like the character of Kirk, because he is a masculine character. You see him behind all the blacks and females, and they love George Takei because he's gay, right? And so that's how it's done with the cover. But who are they bringing in to do this? They've got Mags Visaggio's back. Mags Visaggio we already talked about. We've got Christopher Cantwell, who's been writing the Defiant series, which is just completely unreadable. And here's the big desperate play. They're bringing in a celebrity to try to get people's attention on this. Patton Oswalt. Now, most people just really, really are annoyed by Patton Oswalt. He is an obnoxious SJW, one of those male feminists out there. He's got some weird accusations against him too, but we won't get into that because that's all rumors. But the guy's got like very little talent. He's just obnoxious. But he is a Hollywood celebrity, and that seems to be the whole reason that they're trying to bring him in here. And this is another desperation play. So it's multiple. It's layers of desperation plays. Well, 500th issue, right? Trying to capitalize off that. Patton Oswalt, celebrity guest writer, right? Trying to capitalize off that. It's not going well, clearly, over here. Jackson Lansing, who writes the main Star Trek series right now, says, in Star Trek 400, we began a journey that changed the face of Star Trek comics and carved out a whole new line of readers for every generation. I don't think any of us could have imagined what would follow, from all the incredible interlock series of the first Star Trek summer event to the first Eisner nominations in Starfleet's history. Now, 100 issues later, it's time to push things even further. Oh, joy. So these fake accomplishments, notice like they don't talk about how great it's all selling and how the fans really like this. It's not the case. It's like I said, bad fan fiction. It's gone on too long. The Eisner nominations, we all know, are an industry insider award where people just are doing it because Heather Antos has clout. She probably is going behind the scenes lobbying for votes to get that nomination. And the books just are not good. They really aren't. I would report on it if they are. There's been a few good Star Trek series out of IDW. I'm very honest about that on the channel. And I, of course, cover them all here. And I review them. Star Trek's my thing. But this is just a train wreck in the making. And again, look at this next cover. You got Sisko up front and Worf up front. It's like the black people are what's important about Star Trek. That's what's going on today. This one... The black people are important with Star Trek. Have you noticed every cover in its quote diversity looks exactly the same? It's just how these things go. And this one, of course, got the Lower Decks thing. And they're reading the Star Trek by Jackson Lansing in this one, and that's what they got. Now they're saying that this is going to set up a event again, and this is the third desperation play because these events are the things that they get going for. Things to try to hype things up. Now, it used to just have stories, and a story could just sell based on a story. Not anymore. Now it's always a new number one, an event, a milestone, celebrity guest. You could see exactly all the tricks are being pulled out to try to revitalize this Star Trek line. And these events there's just two books that are going on in the line. So they do a crossover between the two books every couple years, and they call it an event, and then do an all-new, quote, number one to start off the event, and then hope that sells things. And that's how it goes. So not only crossing our titles, but also linking both Nemesis and Star Trek Picard, some of the most reviled content in Star Trek history. Nemesis was just a disaster. Tried to copy Wrath of Khan and failed. And Star Trek Picard, as we know, was just a bastardization of the show that just was it was not a good thing for Patrick Stewart. It was really sad. Our aim is nothing less than creating the single greatest challenge that Sisko, Worf, and their respective crews have ever faced. A mission that starts when the universe ends. Oh boy. It's a universe-ending, multiverse-y. Wow. How exciting. So I love this. Professional nerds, Patton Oswalt and Jordan Blum. Oh no, Jordan Blum too. Are beaming aboard with tongues firmly planted in their cheeks. So these are going to be comedy stories that kind of mock Star Trek, if anything, from what I could tell right here. Oswalt joked, I can't wait to begin writing this story, sitting down to watch at least 3 of the original episodes and 2 of the movies. I'm excited to experience this world for the first time. Now, this has been said a lot of times, and they're making these, like, quote, jokes, but it's very clear that these people don't understand Star Trek and they don't know the lore. I pointed out in an issue a few years ago when Heather first started editing for the line, the rabid continuity errors just in one issue alone. It was just a disaster. They don't know Star Trek and they don't care. They are flying in your face with it. They're laughing about it. And they're saying, you're dumb anyway because you're going to buy it because I am. Because it says Star Trek on it. I own every Star Trek comic ever. What am I going to do? You know? You can shame me in the comments. It's fine. Blum says, it's an honor to be part of this historic Star Trek moment. I've been a diehard fan since Luke Skywalker first flew. See, they don't care about Star Trek. They just do this little, like, I'm going to make nerd jokes and make fun of Star Trek. These people are insufferable. And it shows the lack of care and quality that they're going to put into this like they do everything else. So that's it. They've got celebrities, a 500 issue, a crossover event, all rolled into one. Yay. This is a desperate move. And IDW, look, I mean, they're in trouble. I mean, the only thing that's doing well for them is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles line. And they've been laying off people left and right. They got delisted from the stock exchange. They've just got they've been in big trouble, and it's because of people like this just not treating these series with respect, not treating Star Trek with honor, and it's really sad. I mean, they really need to wholesale replace these people if they want Star Trek to be great again. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit the like and subscribe button. Please check out The Hidden Emperor. Speaking of great sci-fi, it's right here. You're going to love this. Back this today, my friends, and share it with your friends so that they know that this alternative exists. We just completely rely on word of mouth of people like you. And you can look up the word of mouth of the people who backed the prior book, Overmind, which is also available on the campaign. Everybody glows about it. They said we did the best sci-fi in decades. And I would love for you to check this out. Thank you so much for being there.